What's up, everybody? Man, hopefully everybody's doing good and in good spirits. You know, life is treating you well. And if not, I hope it gets better for you, man. I don't care if you black, white, whatever. That shit don't even matter, man. And that being said, I'm going to get right into why I'm here. You know, it's your boy 2020. Look, man, it's a lot of stuff going on with this NAFC coalition. I hear all this talk, you know, about how they on some bullshit, basically. Which, I mean, on one hand, it's like, come on, y'all. And then on another hand, hell, I'm black, and I go through stuff, so I do know where the anger is coming from, you know. And I'll still say that, you know, 90. This is just my personal opinion, no pun intended to anybody. Can't stress that enough. You know, black people go through some shit, man, that just ain't right. Just because we're black. I know that seems like the race card or whatever, or a cop-out or whatever. But the facts are the facts, man. That's, you know, and that's, I'll say this. That's the truth. You know, facts change. That's the truth. That hasn't changed, man. Black people are treated, ask yourself this. If it wasn't the case, then why is it such a big issue? Because it's not just black people making the issue. It's not just black people saying something's wrong with the way black people are treated. You know, it's been known, it's a reality, you know, and we're just trying to fix it. Now, I will say, in all fairness, you know, I think a war or whatever, you know, that's like, damn. You know, what about, I got white friends, you know, that I grew up with, went to school with, that I'm like this with, you know what I'm saying? You know, some that I would even go so far to say, that's my bro, that's my sis. I love him like a brother, like a sister, for real. You know, and then you got the other ones that don't like me. You don't have to like me. So what? That's not going to put a damper on my day. You know, I wish it wasn't like that, but oh the fuck well, you know, whoop-de-doo. Excuse my language. But, you know, I seen a couple of guys on here, man. I don't know their names. I know they're from Texas. They talked about Texas. I don't think, let me say this real quick in defense of Grandmaster Jay, you know, man, I don't think that man was saying they're going to go down there and forcefully take Texas. I think his intentions were, he was trying to say, you know, that if they could select anything that, hey, Texas will work, we'll take Texas. You know, if we can work up if there was some type of exodus or whatever he was saying. Because I looked at the whole deal too, like that's a you know, that's a different kind of movement, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel him. And I understand what he's saying. I understand his anger and all of that, you know. And that's not even to say that he's going about it all the right ways, you know. I think it's long overdue or long past due, you know, for black people to exercise some of the same rights as white people. Just to kind of prove to ourselves, you know, that, hey, man, in some instances where you think you're not treated equally, yes, you are. You just, for whatever reason, don't take advantage of the freedoms that you have. You know, and a lot of that's in fear of what the police do. Now, we do have a problem with the police, but I'll get to that in a minute. I want to talk about these guys that I seen. These white guys, they were white, so, hey, I mean, if they were green, I'd say these green guys. But they were white guys, these two white guys I seen, man. And from my understanding of a redneck, which ain't a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? There was some rednecks, you know, from my point of view. I don't know how everybody takes that, but again, no pun intended. You know, these guys were some true rednecks, some true all-American da-da-das. You know, and I can't be mad at them for that because I'm a real, you know what I'm saying? I'm real. You know what I'm saying? I'm black. I'm pro-black. You know what I mean? That don't mean that I hate white or even dislike white. Like I said, I got white friends that I love them dearly. But I was listening to these white guys, you know, and they were talking about how unprofessional, how not military these guys were and whatnot. You know, kind of just picking them apart. And a lot of it, I can honestly, if I got to tell the truth, I agree with, you know. But now I know you probably can't tell from my conversation right now, or by the way I'm conducting myself right now, but I believe that, there's a time and a place for everything. And if I'm going to do something like this, and I at least need to present myself as, you know, able to talk to, able to socialize, and at least attempt to try to talk about things civilly, you know what I'm saying? So nobody's offended me. Nobody's said anything stupid to me, so there's no reason for me to, act a motherfucking fool. So it's not. I think that's uncalled for. That being said, man, these guys they were talking about, they just picked these guys apart, the NAFC coalition, and they was just shitting on them, when in fact what they did, it was just basic. If you want to call them, excuse me, call them a terrorist group, then so be it. Or a militia, then so be it. It was just one militia after another, talking about the KKK or whoever, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like gang banging, you know what I'm saying? For real. It was just one set on another set ass, you know what I mean? And here now you got a couple more sets that was called out by a particular set. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's how I'm looking at it from the perspective of gang banging. You know what I mean? Because that's what I know. And that's the life that, I know about. That's the speed. Those are the gears that I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? Through the years. I'm a little older now, so I done kind of pump my brakes and whatnot. And those are just tools now, So I'll say this, I'm talking about these two white guys. And a few others that I've seen, but two that just really stood out. Man, the NFAC isn't the only, aren't the only entities, militia type, gang type, whatever, groups, if you will, that exist, that are either all black or predominantly black, or non-white, or mostly black, And then I thought about it, I said, well, shit, the military, it ain't like it's just 100% white guys. You got to think some of those guys were black before they were Marines, before they were airmen, before they were corpsmen, before they were rangers, and so on and so on. Some of our local police officers, they were black. The black ones, all of them were black before they were that. So you got to think that you got those type guys too, or people too, and I'm not trying to turn it into a white-black thing. I'm just kind of just expounding on some of the stuff that I was hearing these guys say, about like how they would just trample all over, and they kept saying y'all. This is why I got something to say, and I don't know what y'all meant, but if I was included in the people I know personally, which ain't nothing but a handful of people, when you compare the numbers anyway. But, y'all, like he was saying, y'all, we sitting back chilling, man. Like, what the fuck is finna happen? Believe me, we are ready. We are ready. We just done had our encounters with the law and all of that shit. So we have it's kind of just in us just to stay low key. You know what I'm saying? Until whatever pops off is gonna pop off. If it does, hopefully it don't. Really, hopefully it don't. Really, God forbid that. Just the thought of that is like, God damn. That's deep. And I think it's so unnecessary when there's so many other things that we could try before any killing, and it's just not. I don't see it necessary. But these guys were talking about, oh man, they got these 22s. What you gonna do with the big old swole cat who one of them was yoked the fuck up? You hear me? Yeah, come take Texas, motherfucker. Blah, 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 blah. Man, look, man. we all know that I don't give a fuck, man. Excuse my language. You can't get a group of 100, 200, 300 white people to go and take over Texas or any state for that matter. A city, let alone a state, the biggest state in the country at that. Nah, man. So I think it was kind of extra'd out, for you to respond like that. I get, it may be the heat of the moment, the passion of the moment, you know what I'm saying? But I think that was just kind of extra'd out, if, because you did also say, like if the guys were actually talking about something, and I agree with you, then, you give that an ear, you give that some attention, but you also gave the negativity some attention by responding to it in a negative way. That's just my personal opinion, and like I said, it ain't no pun intended. If that's what you said, if it was somebody willing to sit down and talk about it in a way or in a fashion where, hey, we could talk then, hey, then let's chop it up. Let's chop it up, man. No motherfucking problem. No problem. But all of that extra stuff, because we don't care about the guns and the bombs and the big, big boom booms and all of that shit. We don't care about that. We got that too, And here's something about those 22s, because I got one of them too. I got a couple of them. 22s killed more people throughout history than damn near any gun. So we're going to stop. Well, you could keep talking about them, but just understand, like I said, facts are the facts. A 22 is a tiny little gun, but it's not the size of the gun, pimping. It's who gets hit first. So let's kill all of that. To me, that's all childish. I just thought I'd throw that in there. I wouldn't want to get shot with no 22. I wouldn't want to get shot with a fucking BB. For real. But believe me, there's more than little 22s and stuff floating around. I could tell you that shit firsthand. Just with, like I said, I'm from a very small few. A more social few. Kind of ghost-like. We sit back in the cut and we want to see peace. We kind of gravitate toward peace. And sometimes we understand that in order to get peace, sometimes there has to be war. But just God forbid that. God forbid that. If we can sit down and talk, as you say, then let's chop it up. But all of the, pissing contests, who has the bigger guns and whatever, man, dude, I know. Like, y'all got some shit, and y'all will get down for yours just as fast and just as hard as we will for ours, And I'm not representing nothing, but the motherfucking twin right now. I'm just telling you from my heart. You feel me? But, and I'm not a big old dude, and I'm in shape, I'm in shape, so all of us ain't, lard bodies and whatnot. All of that stuff, It's some of y'all that's looking like you trying to steal a beach ball too, so women too, so it's not, all of that stuff is a non-factor. If it was a fist fight, then hell yeah, I could see. But I done knocked out plenty big dudes. For real. I mean, that ain't shit either. That's why I did this stuff without glasses, without all of that stuff. So you see me, man. I'm not coming stupid. Just don't come stupid at me. Don't do that. I'm the one that can actually attempt to try to represent the fact that, look, man, I don't have to get all on religion or what the Hebrews did and blah, 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 what people, because the truth is about, from what I know, we don't even know our true identity. We don't know what I know. I was born in America. So in that light, yeah, I guess I'm an American. I read in the comments somewhere, somebody in Africa was like, don't send them here. We gonna rip that ass up. Whatever, man. You got the ones like me sitting back like they don't know us. But we ain't worried about that shit either, man, We're not gonna put ourselves out there like some stupid ass killers and, you know, the ones you don't want to fuck with and all. Man, just, we don't want it, and y'all sure don't want it. You know what I mean? I like to see those black people have a little bit more tact. You know what I'm saying? And I feel you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I feel where you're coming from. I feel where your anger's coming from. You know, but let's, as a whole, and I say this shit on Facebook all the time, let's as a whole, you know, get our shit together, man. Where I'm from, you know what I mean? They try to promote a lot of black businesses, promote the idea of black-owned businesses and whatnot, you know, which is a good thing. You know, those things in a positive light. You know, I would say go a step further than that even. You know, let's start promoting black industries, black corporations, you know, get bigger, you know. Real, I made a funny, I was trying to be funny anyway. I said a fish plate and something, a cool cup is not a black-owned business. But it's just that thought, you know, we got to think bigger. You know, that's one thing I will give white folk. You know what I mean? They think outside the box. And when they go hard as hell. It's all or nothing. You know, and that's why you see them profit the way they do. You know, and we have to be the same way. You know, I think if you put in $10, hell, you did good if you got 100 back. But if you put in $10,000, just the same, you did good if you got $100,000 back. You got to invest more, you know, for real. But just to those guys, man, don't think that you fucking with no pussies, man. Just to make a long story short, you know, because I don't think that you guys are. I respect you as men. I don't give a fuck what color you are. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like black people or not, you a man first. You know what I'm saying? Whether I like white people or not, which I don't have a problem with them, you know, at all. I'm a man first. And that's really my biggest demand. You're gonna respect me as a man, and I'm gonna give you that same respect at the end of the day. But all of the extra shit popping about what guns you got, what you gonna do, how you gonna take over a state, how we gonna click up and group up thousands and thousands of people. Well, there's already, I'm not gonna tell you that stuff about me. I want to keep it in a positive light, man, or at least started kind of get it going in a better direction than what it is. You know, we just got to do better, man. But I have to say, you know, don't underestimate anybody, for real. And stop hopping that shit about the particulars. Oh, he had a 22 that jammed up. That guy had a 22 that jammed up. And whenever he got it unjammed, you know what I mean, I wouldn't want to get hit with the bullet that flew out that motherfucker. Just saying. You know, 22 or not, they all kill. I mean, even the, you know, it's stupid, man. You know, here we are, some grown ass men talking about going to war over land that ain't even ours. I ain't finna get off into whose it is and who stole what and who enslaved who and who acts ignorant and ghetto and blah, 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 and who acts bougie and superior. I ain't finna get off into all of that, because there's really only one thing that we all have in common. And I don't know, I'm not finna say we human, which, I mean, because that's the obvious. For real. We're men and women, you know. And I can't say that I know any of you. I can only say that I've seen images and shit that are on Facebook or social media or YouTube or whatever, you know. And but just don't do it like that. And I would encourage my people, man, to, you know, we ain't got to be no punks. We not pussy, man, at all. You know, but we not so much of a motherfucking savage that we disregard human life, that we disregard peace, that we disregard the efforts for peace. You know, I don't agree with marching. I totally disagree with Mark. Well, I'm not gonna say I disagree with it, but I don't see the point in it, other than to say that hey, we're unified in what we want, because that really never changed a lot. Doesn't mean that it's a negative thing. That's just my opinion. That's my perspective. You know, but man, just something that you want, man. Let's stop being so negative toward one another. At the end of the day, in a nutshell, I know I said a lot of stuff and I done bounced around, but at the end of the day, all I'm saying is let's stop being so negative to one another to the point to where we can get on the killing fields for real and show each other the love, man. And black people toward black people, black person to black people, I love y'all to death. For real. Peace out, man.